Welcome to Türkiye, a land where every horizon feels alive, every street hums with history, and every breeze carries the scent of something ancient and beautiful. This is where continents meet and civilizations intertwine. From surreal white terraces to golden coastlines, from silent ruins to lively bazaars, Türkiye is not just a destination. It's a story the earth itself has been telling for thousands of years. Pamukkale, the cotton castle of Türkiye. They call it the Cotton Castle, but it looks like a dream sculpted by the hands of nature. Pamukkale glows beneath the Anatolian sun, a shimmering landscape of white travertine terraces cascading down the hillside. From afar, it seems like snow or frozen waterfalls. But as the light hits, blues and silvers ripple through the mineral pools, glowing against the brilliant white stone. Barefoot steps trace through warm, silky water that glides over the terraces. The pools reflect the sky like glass, soft, tranquil, endless. Hidden corners reveal smaller pools untouched by crowds, where reflections shimmer and the world seems to pause. Above the terraces lies Hierapolis, an ancient city resting atop the cotton cliffs. Marble ruins whisper of empires long gone. The amphitheatre stands tall, with the terraces glittering in the distance, a view once shared by travellers and healers who sought Pamukkale's restorative waters centuries ago. As the sun begins to set, the white stone turns golden, and the water catches fire in the light. Evening breezes cool the skin, wrapping the place in calm. Pamukkale isn't just seen, it's felt. A place where the air itself feels lighter, the world quieter, and time slower. Istanbul, where continents meet. Istanbul, a city that refuses to belong to just one world. Here, domes and minarets rise above the skyline, while ferries cross the Bosphorus, bridging Europe and Asia in minutes. The air is thick with spices, history, and stories. Every street in Istanbul feels like a different century. One moment, the energy of the Grand Bazaar surrounds you, merchants calling out, gold and silk glittering under warm lights. The next, silence falls beneath the shadow of the Blue Mosque, its cascading domes and tall minarets reaching gracefully toward the sky. And then, there's the Hagia Sophia, a masterpiece of light and space. Its immense dome seems to float above, bathed in gold as sunlight streams through ancient windows. Centuries of faith and artistry linger in the air, reminding visitors of Istanbul's long dance between empire and eternity. But beyond its monuments, Istanbul lives in its flavors. Warm simit, sold by smiling vendors, the thick aroma of Turkish coffee rising in hidden cafes, the hum of laughter as locals share tea by the waterfront. Istanbul isn't just a city, it's a conversation between past and present, a pulse that keeps moving forward while holding tight to its roots. Cappadocia, valleys of stone and sky. When dawn breaks over Cappadocia, the sky comes alive. Hundreds of hot air balloons lift gently above the valleys, their colours glowing in the first light. Below, the land looks otherworldly, tall, cone-shaped rock formations called fairy chimneys, carved by wind and water over millions of years. Cappadocia feels like another planet, sculpted by nature and shaped by human hands. Cave homes and ancient churches hide in the cliffs, their frescoes faded but full of spirit. The valleys stretch in hues of rose, gold, and ash, changing colour as the day moves on. Staying in a cave hotel here is an experience like no other. Stone walls hold the cool of the night, and terraces overlook a horizon painted with balloons and sunrise. A cup of Turkish tea in hand, the world below feels quiet, peaceful, eternal. Those who explore on foot find magic around every bend, soft trails winding through ancient rock dwellings and quiet chapels carved into the earth. And when the sun sets, the light spills across the landscape like a whisper from the past. Cappadocia isn't a place that's visited, it's a dream that lingers long after it's seen. Dudun Waterfalls, where the river meets the sea. Just outside Antalya, the sound of water grows louder until the view takes the breath away. the Dudun waterfalls. The lower falls tumble directly from the cliffs into the Mediterranean Sea below, a dramatic rush of white foam meeting deep blue water. It feels like nature performing for its own joy. The upper falls, by contrast, are shaded and tranquil. Paths wind through gardens and caves where sunlight filters through the leaves, painting the air in green and gold. Beneath thick canopies, water flows all around, gentle, constant, soothing. Families gather here with picnics, couples stroll hand in hand, and children lean over the railings with wide eyes. Dudun isn't just a waterfall, it's a shared moment, a place where people meet nature halfway, arrive early in the morning or as the golden light of afternoon begins to fade and the mist turns to magic. The spray glows, the sea sparkles, and the air smells of earth and salt. In Antalya, the rhythm of the city fades, replaced by the voice of water. Lake Salda, Turkey's Maldives. High in the Anatolian highlands lies Lake Salda, a scene so pure it feels like a secret paradise. The water glows turquoise and blue, so clear that pebbles shimmer beneath the surface. The sand is white as snow, soft underfoot, creating a perfect mirror to the endless sky. Locals call it Turkey's Maldives, and it's easy to see why. Born from volcanic activity, the lake's mineral-rich mud is said to rejuvenate the skin. Laughter fills the air as visitors coat their hands and faces, letting the sun dry the clay in soft silence. The shoreline stretches wide and calm. There are no crowds, no towering resorts, only stillness and reflection. Those who come here bring their own food, water, and time to simply exist. Lake Salda is a reminder that beauty doesn't need embellishment. Sometimes the earth creates perfection on its own. Ölüdeniz, the Blue Lagoon. If heaven had a coastline, it might look like Ölüdeniz. Nestled between pine-covered mountains and the turquoise Aegean, this lagoon's waters shift from bright aquamarine to deep sapphire. Calm, glassy and warm, it's one of the most beautiful beaches on Earth. The water is so clear that fish glide beneath the surface like silver ribbons. Swimming here feels like floating on glass, the sunlight dancing on the sand below. And above it all, paragliders drift through the sky. Colourful silhouettes gliding from Mount Babadağ, painting the air in motion. From sea to sky, Ölüdeniz captures the essence of freedom. The sound of waves, the smell of pine, and the vastness of the view combine to create an experience that feels almost sacred. It's not just a beach, it's a piece of paradise resting on Turkey's southern coast. Ephesus, walking through time. Among Turkey's many wonders, Ephesus stands as a living monument to the ancient world. Marble streets still bear the grooves of cartwheels from centuries past. Towering columns line pathways that lead to one of the most iconic structures of antiquity, the Library of Celsus. Here, every stone tells a story. The theatre rises grandly against the hillside, a space so vast that it once held thousands. Standing there, one can almost hear the voices of merchants, philosophers, and travelers from across the ancient world. Hidden behind these grand ruins are the terrace houses, intricate mosaics and frescoes revealing the beauty of daily life from ages ago. They tell of families, of love, of a city once filled with life and laughter. Ephesus is best seen in the quiet of morning when golden light touches the marble and shadows stretch across the stones. In those moments, the past feels close, not gone, just waiting for someone to listen. Ishak Pasha Palace, the fortress of East and West. Perched high in the mountains of eastern Turkey, Ishak Pasha Palace stands like a dream carved from two worlds. Ottoman grace blends with Persian and Armenian artistry, creating a masterpiece of stone and story. The palace's walls rise proudly against the rugged backdrop, their carvings detailed with symbols of power and beauty. Walking through its courtyards feels like stepping into a bridge between civilizations. Every arch, every motif, whispers of a time when art and empire met beneath the same sun. From its gates, the view stretches endlessly. plains fading into mist and mountains rolling into the horizon. The wind carries a chill, a reminder of the altitude and the history woven into the stone. Getting here takes time and patience, but that's part of the palace's magic. Up here, surrounded by silence and sky, the world feels larger, and yet beautifully still. Ani Ruins, cathedral mornings in a forgotten city. On the far eastern border of Turkey lies Ani, a city once known as the City of 1,000 Churches. Today, its ruins rest in quiet solitude, overlooking the deep valleys of Kars. The Cathedral of Ani still stands tall, its dark stone walls weathered but proud. The air here feels ancient. Walking among the ruins, the past feels tangible. Arches broken by time, frescoes fading but still alive with meaning. The silence of Ani is powerful. Even the wind seems to whisper history. This place isn't about what's gone, but what remains. The echo of faith, the endurance of beauty, and the haunting stillness that reminds all who visit that even ruins have life. The paths are uneven, the fields wide, and the views immense. Ani is not a place to rush. It's a place to feel, to breathe, to understand how time leaves its mark gently but permanently on everything it touches. Mount Ararat, the sacred giant. Long before reaching it, Mount Ararat dominates the horizon. Its snow-capped peak pierces the sky, immense and timeless. Legends say this is where Noah's Ark came to rest, and standing at its base, it's easy to understand why it holds such reverence. The air is crisp, the mountains silent, except for the whisper of wind. Shepherds still graze their flocks on the lower slopes, villages nestled in its shadow. To those who live here, Ararat is more than myth. It's home, a symbol of endurance and grace. Few climb its summit, and those who do prepare for days of trekking through thin air and shifting weather. But even without climbing, simply standing before it is enough. Ararat doesn't ask to be conquered, only respected. Some places are meant not for victory, but for awe. From the terraces of Pamukkale to the heights of Mount Ararat, from the timeless streets of Istanbul to the silent ruins of Ani, Turkey is a living mosaic, a land of contrasts that somehow feels perfectly whole. Every stop tells a story, every face shares warmth, every flavor lingers in memory. What connects it all is something beyond landscapes and history. It's the feeling of welcome. Across villages, cities, coasts and mountains, the people of Turkey share their world openly, turning travelers into guests and moments into memories. Turkey isn't a destination that ends when the journey does. It stays in the taste of honey-dipped baklava, the call of prayer echoing through twilight, the golden reflection of sun on stone and water. It's not a place to visit once, but a story to carry forever. If this journey through the wonders of Turkey has inspired your wanderlust, make sure to subscribe, share, and explore more breathtaking destinations with us. Every place holds a story, and every story deserves to be seen in the light of wonder.